Hey guys, so I'm getting ready. I'm planning on leaving Bangkok, so it's one of my last videos. And I just wanted to say I've learned a shit ton in Bangkok and has been a very important time in my life. And I want to warn you against something. There's one thing that I think is very dangerous when it comes to life, and that is when you figure something out, right? When you get, let's say you crack the code on something, right? You know, like, let's say you, I don't know, like, there's so many examples, but one of them would be, you know, you win a gold medal, or you you do something really good for yourself. Like, let's say that you go, you know, you get sober and you have an alcohol problem and you quit. It's like, oh man, that's so heavy. Oh, that's so great. And for a moment, it seems like you cracked the code. Like there's nothing else you have to do. You know, you have now reached, I don't know, like you know, human potential, or you know, you feel like you did what you could do, or maybe you become rich because you start a company and you're like, God damn it, you're like, I did it, man. And then you're in the newspaper and you're in the business magazines, and I've done this before. And then you're like, oh man, like, you know, like what else do I need, right? Or you know, like I said, you find a great workout. The thing with life is you need to keep fucking improving. That's the hard part in life. It's like no matter what you reach, it's only temporary. It's only temporary. So you might tell a heartfelt story. You might tell a fucking super serious story about how you realized something and it meant so much to you, you know? And you were like, oh man, I was lost and I was found, you know? Or maybe like for me, like in my 20s, when I discovered, you know, that I could pick up tons of girls and I discovered that there was a real value at the time for me in my 20s from sleeping with a lot of girls and learning about human nature and challenging myself. And you know, like it was fucking pretty intense. Like at the time, it felt like one of the best things I could do, you know? I mean, it's very different now, but at the time it felt like, oh man, I've figured it out here, you know? I'm doing what every guy dreams of, you know? And then my sister moved into town, you know? She moved into Tokyo, and after my sister moved in, I don't know, I kind of like looked at my life again. I was like, wait a second, what am I doing with my life, you know? Like I was sitting there and I'm making money. I was making pretty good money. I had a lot of free time. I had, you know, endless fucking sexual escapades, and every possible experiment that I wanted to do was going on. And I felt like, man, this is it. This is what a man wants. I'm going to keep doing this for the rest of my life. But when my sister moved into town, I was about 30, and all of a sudden I realized, like, I don't know, I kind of looked at my life and I thought, wait a second, I thought this was going to last forever. I thought that this was going to be like the silver bullet. But when my sister moved into town, I looked at my life honestly and I thought, man, where's your career success? Like you're super talented. Like don't fucking write yourself off. Like you're talented. Like how can you be satisfied with this life, you know? I was making good money, but it was like, it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted more. I wanted more out of life when it comes to financial, or not even financial success, but like basically professional success. And I said, man, I got more talent than this. So I got into business, and I kind of like put women to the side, and I focused on business, and I did well. You know, I really focused on it, and it fulfilled me in a very deep way. Whereas in my 20s, if I would have been focusing on business, it wouldn't have meant shit to me in my 20s. All I wanted was sweet pussy, man. That's all I wanted. You know, but then in my 30s, I was like, I really branched out. My sister moving into town is what really woke me up to the fact that I was kidding myself. Now, again, very important here, I wasn't kidding myself the whole time. It was only at the end. Everything was fantastic until it was not fantastic anymore. So I think the key to self-improvement, or I think the key to life, okay, the key to life is that you have a goal, you have something you really want to fucking do, right? And you're like, I'm gonna travel the world. That's what I did before women. I was like, I want to travel the world. And before that, it was like, I want to stop drinking. I want to get off drugs. I'm gonna do it. And I did it, and it was awesome. And then I said, I got to travel the world. I haven't seen shit in the world, right? And I quit everything. I finished university and I went around the world. I traveled to like 50 countries. I spent over a year, and then I said, and I did that, and I was like, oh, this is awesome. I went back home, I interviewed for a job, but the thing is, I was done traveling at that point. I pretty much traveled out. Like, I was done. Like, I honestly, that travel, that year and a half or whatever it was traveling, I was kind of done traveling. Like, if I would have kept traveling, I could have kept traveling. Like, if I had a travel blog, I could pretend like I was happy. But for me, like, all I needed was that year and a half of like endless travel and endless experiences, and that was it. That did it for me. That was freaking awesome for me. And but then I was done. I had to face the fact that I had changed. That travel no longer had that. It no longer had that intrigue or pull on me like a magnet. Where I'm like, because before that I said, I gotta travel. I gotta see more. I gotta travel. I gotta travel. I want to see more. I want to sleep with fucking hot Swedish girls in forests, and I want to go to, you know what I mean? I want to do this. I want to ride in some crazy river and do some crazy rafting and rock climb with no fucking ropes, and I wanted to do all this stuff. And after I did that, it was kind of like I had to face the fact that it was no longer what I wanted, right? What did I want with my life? I wanted more, right? But at the same time, it was freaking awesome, and it was essential in my life, that travel time, okay? It was absolutely essential. But then after that, I'm like, I went back to the States, I interviewed for a job, and it was like all of a sudden, again, I was like, do I want to settle down in the States now? Like, is this what I want? I'm like, no, I'm not done yet, but I don't want to travel. What do I want to do? And that was when I said, wait a second, I want to go live somewhere, and I want to be successful, there. And that's what I did. And so I moved to Japan, and that was like a huge challenge. And when I got there, I got a job, I got things going, and then I realized that I had not had the sexual experiences I wanted. I had not tried everything. I had not fucking taken my body and my mind to the highest level that I wanted to, where I really see who I am and what I am, and see myself in every situation and experience all the lovely things that I wanted to experience, the things that I read about in books and magazines, and I was like, I want more, and so that's what I did. I focused on women. I focused on fucking women, and it was like women for like, I don't know how many years, 5 years, and it was awesome. It was very, very good. And I challenged myself to approach women, to talk to women, to seduce women, to get threesomes, and to do everything that I always wanted to do. Pick up two girls on the street and have sex with them together that day. That was fucking awesome. That was, I can't tell you how absolutely, like, almost spiritual that was for me as a man. It was absolutely fucking awesome at the time. And these are regular people. It was beautiful. The looks on their faces, the shyness, the everybody was the first time, and it was just like, it was beautiful, And I had to do that. I had to do that for me. For me, that was important, okay? But after about 5 years of that, then, like I said, it was like, wait a second, what am I doing with my life? Like, my sister moved in town, and she was very successful. I'm like, what am I doing with my life? Like, is women, is that really all I want? I'm like, no, I want more. So I went into business, and I got into business, and so everything changes in life. So this is not about me, this is about you. You need to keep challenging yourself. Don't stay stuck. Okay? These are the phases that I went through. But they're not the phases you're gonna go through. You're gonna have different phases. Don't get stuck. And also, once you achieve something, don't keep listening to your body, keep listening to yourself, because what will often happen in my experience is it will not mean the same all the time. And over time, now you've done that. It's kind of like playing football in high school or something, you win the championships, right? And you're like, I did it, I wanted to do it, I went and did it. But then after that, you're like, wait a second. Do I just want to play football my whole life? Is that what I want to do? Is that like my path? And you're like, you feel yourself, you feel your body, you feel your mind, and you're like, no, I want to do more, right? What do you want to do next? What do you pat yourself on the back, when you do something cool, right? That's awesome. But what do you want to do next? What do you want to do next? And always reevaluate once you've achieved something. I've read that a lot of gold medal winners get very depressed because they've achieved their goals, And then once they've achieved their goals, they don't know what to do next. And nothing seems to kind of match up to, you know, what they did. And then they're like, you know, I thought I was going to be happy, you know. And the thing is, the mistake they're making is that they are happy, and they were happy. They were happy achieving that goal of getting a gold medal, or being in the Olympics, or traveling the world, or whatever. But then once you reach it, it's like childish to me just to keep doing the same thing over and over, you know. For me to go and like just picking up women now would be just a total waste of time. I mean, I totally know what happens. I know how it works. And there is like a slight bit of me that would be like, I know that the actual challenge itself would force me to learn new things and all that. But I mean, really, it's not. It's overall, it's stale bread for me. It is stale bread. And same with business in Japan. It's stale bread. And then I wanted to go to China. I wanted to learn Chinese. I wanted to master Chinese. I wanted to master Japanese, and I mastered them. And that was my goal. And then once I mastered them, you know, once I mastered them, I almost hate it when people say your Chinese is so good or whatever, because it's the wrong compliment at the wrong time. Because this is a goal I achieved a long time ago. Like I want to fucking do things today, right now. God damn it. And I have to keep my mind open and I keep listening to myself so that I don't become stale bread, so that I don't start lying to myself that yesterday's accomplishments are good enough today, right? So that's what I would say to you, is if you ever wonder why you're not feeling good, reevaluate and think to yourself, wait a second, are the things that I am doing now, are they challenging me anymore? And what would a guy do who did these things, you know, whatever it was that you accomplished? What would he do next? You know, what do guys do next after this one thing? After the Olympics? What do they do after that? How do they handle the next challenge? You know, what is the difference between a guy who gets a gold medal and becomes a loser afterwards and another guy who gets a gold medal and then becomes a massive success in life in general, right? You need to know those things. You need to think about those things, and you need to look at other people as examples, because sometimes we don't think of it ourselves. We need to kind of look around and look at other men, look at other women, and say, what the fuck, you know, what should I do next? Don't expect the answer to be easy. You know, it's not going to be easy. It's not going to be like, oh, bam, boom, done, do, bang, bang. You know, if you're really going to do something that you really want to do, it's not going to be sometimes even obvious. And sometimes what you're going to want to do is going to be the opposite of what basically what you used to hate before is what you are doing now. And it's your dream. It's what you want to do. It's kind of like when you're in high school, you think that some old guy, you know, doing something is really boring and really stupid and totally ridiculous. But then when you get older, you think, oh, wait a second, gardening is pretty fun, you know? Like, I'm not a gardener type, but a lot of my friends are. And it's like, oh, they get a lot of enjoyment out of gardening, right? That's cool. You know, when you're young, you could never, when in high school, I could have never imagined that. But I'm still not into gardening, and I probably never will be, but I got friends that are seriously into fucking gardening. They like to watch the plants. They like to dig. They like to smell the dirt. They like to challenge their body, and they like to sit in the sun and cover themselves up and just all the fucking shit. They like to be fucking gardeners, you know, of their house, of their garden, right? So again, just because, you know, you have to have a really open mind, because sometimes there's things that you actually hated before, and they actually now are very, very, very fulfilling. And that's the key. That's the key to happiness, in my opinion, is that reevaluation. Where should I be now? What have I done? What do people do that did this? How do I feel about things? What's a realistic goal that I could go for next? You know, and like letting go of old things. I think letting go of old, you know, accomplishments and not having to hold on to them, I think is a very important thing. And it's not easy, and I struggle with it myself. You know, and but I would say overall, I'm definitely winning the battle, and I'm very, very, very happy. And this is kind of my formula. So I'm leaving Bangkok tonight at 1 o'clock, and I'll be flying to the States, and I will definitely keep you guys updated. I'm gonna try something new. We're gonna see how it goes. I've traveled. I've been overseas since Reagan was president. I've never had an apartment in my name in America. I've never had a utility bill in my name. Like I've never had like an internet bill. I've never had an electricity bill with my name on it. I've never had a phone bill with my name on it in America. Isn't that crazy? It's crazy. But like I said, I left after university and I never have gone back to live there. So it's going to be a new experiment for me. I'm going to see what's happening, and I'm going to keep very much in touch with my feelings about how I feel about my challenge right now. And for you, it might be something very different, you know? You might have a very, very different goal and very, very different background where you're like, man, I want to do what you did before. And that's like fucking awesome, because everything I did, I really like, I relished it. You know what I mean? It was like, it was absolutely fulfilling and edifying for my soul, you know? So there you go. That's what I'm at right now. I'm kind of reevaluating a lot of stuff. Chris is coming to eat. I'm going to go fucking eat. I just went to the gym. I feel great. And you guys are a big part of it. You guys are a huge part of it. So thank you very much for your support, and you know, both in like monetary support and like comments and coming to conventions and like just emotional fucking support, like camaraderie, man. Fucking band of brothers, man. Band of fucking brothers. And thank you for that. All right, guys, have a good one. And I might shoot one more video before I leave. We'll see how it goes. I got a busy day today, so I got a lot of stuff to reevaluate. So it was a bit of a spur of the moment thing, but it feels right. So we'll see how it goes. All right, guys. Hope you guys are having a good one. Talk to you soon. Ronin Man, signing off.